In the dawn of the Renaissance, a man wielded a paintbrush while gazing at the stars and the depths of the human body. He was Leonardo da Vinci, a genius who unlocked the world with curiosity. His story, like an unfinished painting, captivates and enchants. His multifaceted life is not just a symphony of art and science, but an eternal ode to humanity's quest for the unknown. Every creation and thought of Leonardo left an indelible mark on history, inspiring us to question, create, and transcend. Chapter 1: The Starlight of a Florentine Youth. In 1452, Leonardo da Vinci was born in the Tuscan town of Vinci, Italy, as an illegitimate child, bearing the weight of societal prejudice from an early age. Yet, this status did not confine his spirit. Instead, it ignited his curiosity about the world. Young Leonardo often wandered the countryside, observing the flight of birds, the flow of streams, and the gentle quiver of leaves in the wind. Walter Isaacson writes in Leonardo da Vinci, Leonardo's curiosity stemmed not from books but from direct observation of the world. This keen perception of nature laid the foundation for his dual mastery of art and science. In Florence, Leonardo entered the workshop of Verrocchio, launching his artistic career. His talent quickly shone through. In the early work, The Baptism of Christ, his depiction of an angel was so graceful and fluid that it surpassed even his teacher Verrocchio. Leonardo's growth was inseparable from Florence's vibrant cultural scene, where masters like Botticelli and Ghirlandaio thrived, and philosophers and poets debated, fostering his thirst for knowledge. As an illegitimate son, Leonardo could not inherit family wealth, forcing him to rely on his talent to make his way. His youth was not without challenges. He was once arrested on charges related to his sexuality, though later acquitted, an experience that deepened his introspection and resolve to stay true to himself. His notebooks often recorded observations of nature, such as how birds' wings moved or how water formed vortices, reflecting his profound love for the world. Leonardo's early years teach us that genius often begins not with privilege but with an insatiable desire for the unknown. His childhood was not just about drawing inspiration from nature, but about forming a unique way of thinking through interaction with his surroundings. His walks in the Tuscan countryside were not mere strolls, but active explorations. He would crouch to study the paths of insects, or gaze at distant mountains shimmering through morning mist. These experiences taught him to discern patterns in the mundane and extract beauty from the ordinary. For instance, his observation of leaf textures went beyond the surface, seeking to understand how veins were distributed and how water flowed within them, laying the groundwork for his later precision in depicting natural textures in art. This observational acuity was rare in an era when medieval education emphasized scholastic philosophy over direct study of nature. Leonardo's self-taught nature recalls Albert Einstein, who, through deep reflection on everyday phenomena like light and time, proposed groundbreaking theories. Moreover, his illegitimacy, while socially stigmatized, granted him greater freedom. Unbound by family traditions, he could chart his own path. This mirrors modern entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos, who left a stable finance job to embark on the uncertain venture of Amazon. Leonardo's youth also demonstrated his ability to embrace failure. He once tried building a simple kite from branches and cloth to mimic bird flight. Though it failed, he recorded these attempts, which became the seeds for his later designs of flying machines. His exploratory spirit reminds us that curiosity is not just the spark of discovery but a driving force in overcoming setbacks. His years in Florence honed his skills and ignited his relentless pursuit of knowledge. His curiosity, like a seed, took root in the fertile soil of the Renaissance, foreshadowing the brilliance he would later unleash. Chapter 2: The Pursuit of Artistic Perfection. Leonardo's artistic achievements were the culmination of his relentless pursuit of perfection. His masterpiece Mona Lisa is not only a pinnacle of painting, but a profound exploration of humanity and aesthetics. Her enigmatic smile, blending subtle light and shadow with precise perspective, reflects his deep study of human anatomy. Isaacson notes in Leonardo da Vinci that Leonardo revised Mona Lisa repeatedly, even carrying it with him until his death. Its creation was a never-ending journey, showcasing his uncompromising dedication to art. The Last Supper is another peak of his artistic pursuit. This mural broke from rigid religious art traditions, with the apostles' dynamic expressions and gestures capturing the complex emotions of betrayal. Isaacson cites Leonardo's notebook, "Art is not merely representation but the revelation of inner truth." He employed perspective to create dramatic depth, immersing viewers in the scene of that fateful supper. This psychological depth parallels Christopher Nolan's Inception, which uses visual storytelling to probe the subconscious. Leonardo's artistic endeavors were not always smooth. The Last Supper deteriorated quickly due to experimental pigments, much like Picasso's later failures with new materials. He attempted a dry fresco technique for durability, but it backfired. Yet, these failures offered valuable lessons for future artists, highlighting the cost of innovation. Similarly, Apple faced technical setbacks before launching the first iPhone, but its eventual success proved the value of pushing boundaries. Leonardo's art transcended technique, rooted in his profound insight into humanity. In his paintings, the eyes, gestures, and even background details reveal his deep contemplation of life and emotion. For example, in Virgin and Child with Saint Anne, the interaction between the Virgin and Saint Anne conveys a blend of familial love and faith, with layered compositions that move the viewer. This emotional nuance echoes the Chinese painter Gu Hongzhong's Night Revels of Han Zize, which captures the vibrancy and complexity of Tang Dynasty life. Leonardo's artistic pursuit teaches us that true beauty lies not just in perfect form but in profound meaning. His quest for beauty extended beyond the canvas to his meticulous control over the creative process. He never rushed a work, refining every stroke to achieve his ideal. For Mona Lisa, he spent years studying how light and shadow played on facial skin, even delving into optics to understand how light altered color through air. This obsession with detail recalls Japanese craftsmanship, where swordsmiths hammer blades repeatedly to achieve ultimate sharpness and beauty. Leonardo's art was deeply influenced by Renaissance humanism, viewing art as a medium for expressing human emotion and thought. In The Last Supper, he used body language and expressions to depict the apostles' complex emotions facing betrayal, akin to Shakespeare's exploration of human conflict in Hamlet's soliloquies. His use of perspective was grounded in geometry and his study of human visual perception. He wrote in his notebooks, "The eye is the window to the soul," treating painting as a scientific experiment to reveal truth through visual language. This approach resembles modern data visualization, where scientists transform complex data into intuitive graphics. Leonardo's art profoundly influenced later generations. For instance, Caravaggio in the Baroque era adopted his chiaroscuro technique, creating dramatic light and shadow effects. His works demonstrate that art is not just visual pleasure, but a dialogue with the soul. Each brushstroke was a profound gaze at humanity and the world. Chapter 3: The Scientific Explorer. Leonardo was not only an artist, but a scientific pioneer. His anatomical notebooks meticulously documented bones, muscles, and organs, foreshadowing modern medical science. Isaacson writes, "Leonardo's anatomical drawings were not just scientific records but artistic expressions." Through dissecting corpses, he revealed the workings of the heart and blood vessels, even discovering fetal circulation centuries ahead of his time. These breakthroughs stemmed from tireless observation and documentation. His scientific curiosity paralleled Galileo's, who challenged geontrism through telescope observations, just as Leonardo overturned outdated medical beliefs through anatomy. Both relied on observation and experimentation to pursue truth. Similarly, Stephen Hawking explored cosmic black holes through mathematical models, embodying interdisciplinary thinking. Leonardo's anatomical studies not only advanced medicine but enriched his art. The lifelike quality of Mona Lisa's smile owes partly to his precise understanding of facial muscles. His scientific inquiries were not always practical. His designs for flying machines, submarines, and war machines often remained on paper, but revealed his deep insight into nature. He wrote, "Understanding the essence of things is the key to creation." He studied water currents and air movement to uncover nature's laws. This quest for fundamental principles echoes Richard Feynman's pursuit of quantum mechanics' underlying truths. Leonardo's scientific spirit shone in his cross-disciplinary endeavors. He studied plant growth, light refraction in water, and even attempted to calculate Earth's circumference. Though imperfect, these efforts inspired later scientists. His hydraulic studies influenced Bernoulli's principle, and his flying machine sketches planted seeds for aviation. His scientific explorations teach us that true discovery begins with bold questions about the unknown. His inquiries were systematic, linking his anatomical studies to broader observations of nature. While studying human bones and muscles, he also examined animal anatomy to compare structural differences, seeking universal laws of motion. This comparative approach resembles Charles Darwin's evolutionary studies through species comparisons. Leonardo's notebooks highlight his emphasis on experimentation. He designed simple setups, like water tanks to simulate vortices, to test his hydraulic hypotheses. This experimental rigor mirrors Galileo's inclined plane experiments for studying gravity. His interdisciplinary approach integrated optics into his art, as seen in Mona Lisa's misty mountain backgrounds. This fusion of science and art recalls neuroscientist Vilayana Ramachandran's studies on how art triggers aesthetic responses in the brain. Leonardo's scientific legacy endures. His hydraulic observations directly informed Bernoulli's 18th-century fluid dynamics research. His embrace of failure, such as unsuccessful flying machine experiments, laid intellectual foundations for later aviation pioneers. His relentless questioning reminds us that scientific discovery is a winding path, but each step brings us closer to truth. Chapter 4: Engineering and Ingenious Ideas. Leonardo's engineering designs blended imagination with practical skill. From Milan's canal systems to war machines, his sketches were visionary. Isaacson describes Leonardo's giant crossbow for the Sforza family, which, though never built, showcased his grasp of mechanics and materials. His flying machine designs, mimicking bird wings, strikingly resemble the Wright brothers' airplane experiments. Similarly, Elon Musk's SpaceX rocket designs reflect a leap from imagination to reality. Musk once said, "Innovation requires bold hypotheses and careful validation." Though many of Leonardo's designs remained unrealized, they inspired future innovations. His tank prototype, though unused, foreshadowed modern armored vehicles. His canal designs practically aided Milan's urban development. Leonardo's engineering respected natural laws. His bridge designs used arches to distribute weight, echoing the ancient Chinese Zhaozhou bridge's enduring structure. He wrote, "Nature is the best teacher. Human creations should follow her laws." This reverence for nature gave his designs a scientific foundation. His engineering faced setbacks. His dome model for Milan Cathedral failed due to technical limits, akin to Frank Gehry's material challenges with the Guggenheim Bilbao. Leonardo's engineering visions teach us that innovation's value lies not just in immediate success but in paving the way for the future. His canal designs for Milan, grounded in fluid dynamics, proposed water gates and diversions to optimize resources. Though limited by technology, these ideas inspired later canal systems, like those in 17th-century Holland. He valued collaboration, working with craftsmen and architects to translate sketches into structures. This mirrors modern open-source software development, like Linus Torvalds' creation of Linux through global collaboration. Leonardo's designs also prioritize sustainability, choosing materials to minimize resource use, akin to Norman Foster's eco-friendly Swiss Re building in London. His submarine sketches, with sealed cabins and manual propulsion, though fantastical then, seeded 19th-century submarine technology. His flight design studied bird wings to mimic natural motion, paralleling modern biomimicry, like whale fin-inspired wind turbine efficiency. Leonardo's engineering reminds us that innovation is not just technical but a harmonious blend with nature. Each sketch was a bold exploration of possibility. Chapter 5: The Light of Interdisciplinary Thinking. Leonardo's genius lay in his interdisciplinary thinking. He fused art, science, and engineering to create timeless works. Isaacson notes, in Leonardo's notebooks, the boundaries between art and science blur. His Vitruvian Man is both an anatomical study and a philosophical reflection on human proportion and cosmic harmony. This embodies Renaissance humanism spirit. His approach resembles Steve Jobs, who blended design aesthetics with technology to create the iPhone's elegance. Jobs said, "True innovation arises at the intersection of technology and the humanities." Similarly, Leonardo applied scientific knowledge to his art and artistic sensibility to his science. In Virgin and Child with Saint Anne, the emotional interplay and natural backgrounds reflect harmony between humanity and nature. His notebooks spanning anatomy, optics, mechanics, and botany showcase his holistic thinking. This mirrors Marie Curie's integration of chemistry, physics, and medicine to discover radium. Leonardo's interdisciplinary spirit teaches us that innovation thrives at the crossroads of disciplines. His influence persists, as seen in Antoni Gaudi's nature-inspired Sagrada Familia. The Renaissance's knowledge hubs like Florence and Milan shaped his integrative approach. In Vitruvian Man, he drew on Roman architect Vitruvius' theories to link human proportion with cosmic order, akin to Fritjof Capper's exploration of science and Eastern philosophy in the Tao of Physics. Leonardo valued knowledge dissemination, with his detailed notebooks intended for posterity, much like Wikipedia's open platform. His war machine designs for the Sforzas combine mechanics with ergonomic human motion, reflecting modern user experience design principles as seen in Apple's intuitive products. His interdisciplinary legacy inspired innovators like Buckminster Fuller, whose geodesic domes blended math, engineering, and ecology. Leonardo's approach reminds us that breaking disciplinary boundaries sparks true innovation. Chapter 6: The Unfinished Genius. Leonardo's career was marked by unfinished works. Paintings like Saint Jerome and the Battle of Anghiari remained incomplete, and many sketches never materialized. Isaacson suggests this stemmed not from laziness, but from his relentless pursuit of perfection. He wrote, "Art can never be perfect, but the pursuit of perfection is meaningful in itself." This echoes Thomas Edison, who, despite inventing the light bulb, left countless unfinished experiments. Edison said, "I haven't failed. I've found 10,000 ways that don't work." Leonardo's unfinished Battle of Anghiari, though incomplete, inspired Baroque artists like Rubens with its dynamic compositions. His scattered focus across painting, engineering, and science often left projects unfinished. This multitasking resembles Bill Gates' early work at Microsoft, juggling software, strategy, and philanthropy. Leonardo's unfinished works were not failures but expressions of his boundless curiosity. Each incomplete piece was a bold attempt at possibility. His unfinished genius redefines success, emphasizing the depth of pursuit over completion. He viewed time as a fluid resource, not a constraint. For the Battle of Anghiari, he endlessly revised compositions to capture war's chaos, leaving it unfinished due to technical issues. Yet, its sketches became a resource for dynamic composition, influencing Rubens. His multitasking, like working on Virgin and Child with Saint Anne alongside hydraulics and flight designs, mirrors Elon Musk's parallel leadership of SpaceX, Tesla, and Neuralink. Leonardo saw completion as a pause in thinking writing. Finishing a work is merely halting its contemplation. This aligns with modern agile development, where iterative updates allow ongoing refinement. His unfinished flight sketches inspired 19th-century aviation pioneers like Otto Lilienthal. His incomplete works offer imaginative space, like open-source code sparking collaborative innovation. Leonardo's unfinished spirit teaches us that sustained exploration and depth outweigh mere completion. His sketches and notes, like fragmented stars, still shine with eternal brilliance. Epilogue: Leonardo's eternal legacy. Leonardo da Vinci's life, like an unfinished painting, brims with mystery and meaning. His curiosity, interdisciplinary thinking, and pursuit of perfection transcend the Renaissance, inspiring us today. Isaacson concludes, Leonardo's legacy is not just his works but his way of thinking. His story reminds us that curiosity is the wellspring of creativity. Whether observing a leaf's veins or probing cosmic mysteries, Leonardo retained a childlike wonder. His interdisciplinary approach shows that knowledge boundaries are surmountable, and art-science synergy sparks innovation. His unfinished works teach us that the pursuit of perfection outweighs the result. In today's fast-changing world, Leonardo's lessons remain vital. From technological breakthroughs to artistic innovation, his spirit urges us to cross boundaries and explore boldly. Ray Kurzweil's AI research, blending technology, philosophy, and ethics, continues Leonardo's interdisciplinary tradition. Leonardo's life was not flawless. His scattered focus and unfinished works drew criticism. Yet, these imperfections make him relatable and human. His story shows that genius is not innate, but forged through observation, reflection, and practice. His legacy is not just colors on canvas, but an enduring drive to question and create.